Hi everyone, it's Justine, and I'm excited to bring you a video today for Stamptember, that Simon Says Stamp month-long event. It features some of the new release products that were released yesterday. I actually have 2 videos for the Stamptember release and 5 videos today in total, so there's lots to watch on my channel. There's going to be a blog hop as well, so I'm going to link to that below in the video description, and if you comment on all the blogs today, you're going to have a chance to win a $50 gift card to Simon Says Stamp that you can spend on the new release if you like. So getting started, I'm taking the Ornate background cling stamp, which is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm going to be stamping it in black ink on a card panel. I'm going to be making 3 cards today, 2 with embossing and 1 with just regular ink. Now, if I had not just received these products yesterday, I probably would have colored this whole background and had a blast. However, I decided to go with quick, easy, and simple because of the lack of time. But I'm sure I'll be featuring the stamp in another video soon because it's absolutely stunning. So now I'm stamping 2 backgrounds using some VersaFine ink because I'm going to be embossing. So I'm adding some rose gold embossing powder, which is absolutely gorgeous, and I am just tapping the back there to get rid of any excess embossing powder. And then I'm going in with the Simon Says Stamp Fog cardstock, and I'm going to be stamping this as well, but I'm going to be covering it in clear embossing powder because I want it to take on the tone of the paper and give kind of a monochromatic look. Now actually, after I stamped this, I went back in and re-stamped it because I didn't find it stamped well, so if the image is slightly different on camera as to the final background result, that would be why. So I'm going ahead and melting this with my heat tool. Careful, it's extremely hot. I accidentally ended up dropping my heat tool onto my leg after this, and now I have a pretty significant burn to remember these cards by. Once I finished melting the powder on both cards, I took a stitched rectangle die just to add a little bit of a finish around the edge, and I sent it through my die cutting machine. Now because my card panel was pretty much the same size as the die, I flipped the die upside down and added the paper on top this way to make sure that it cut the whole thing. Next up is I assembled my card onto some card bases. They're A2 size cards and measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when they're finished. I'm gluing them with some Tombow mono liquid adhesive. I always work on a card panel because it helps me save paper. So if I screw up the card panel, I'm only throwing out a small piece of paper as opposed to a whole card base. And I also love the frame it creates around it by cutting it 1/4 of an inch shorter than the card base. It just pulls everything so nicely together. Because I don't have any sentiments from this release, I'm going to go ahead and die cut this love sentiment 3 times in black and 3 times in white. I'm going to create sort of a off shadow sort of look, so I wanted the black to really stand out by attaching it slightly off center to the white love. So I'm just stacking them one on top of the other. I'm going to speed up this process so that you don't get bored. So this die here is called the Love Wafer Die 2, and then I'm going to be using the sentiment that matches it that is called All My Love by Simon Says Stamp. So I'm attaching the white love first, and then I'm going ahead and I am attaching the black on top. So by doing this, it is really pulling a focus in on the black, I find. If I didn't have this, it would have got a little bit lost in the background. So a really great tip and technique to use if you feel like things are getting out of control and your background's taking over your sentiment. So once I had all 3 of these cards done, I went ahead and I needed to add a little bit more of a sentiment than just love on the front of a card. So I grabbed a piece of black cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, as well as the All My Love stamp set that coordinates with this die, and I stamped Your Smile 3 times in VersaFine ink. Then, using some Ranger white embossing powder in super fine detail, I covered the sentiments with embossing powder and heat embossed them the same way I did the backgrounds on the card. This creates a really vibrant white look for your sentiments, and I prefer this so much more than just stamping in white ink, because when you stamp in white ink, it's a little bit less vibrant, and you also still need to take out your heat gun to heat set pigment white ink, so you might as well just emboss it, in my opinion. Then I took my paper trimmer here and I cut down the Your Smile 3 times, and I wanted to create a pretty tight fit on them, so I just really took a look and cut in between each of the words and then cut down the lengthwise so that I created these 3 panels, which I attached with some 3D foam tape underneath the sentiment. I think this is really cool, and you can use this to give to friends, family, for really any occasion, and that's what I like so much about it. I then grabbed a Wink of Stella pen in clear sparkle, and I went over the sentiment in some glitter. It's a glitter pen, and it adds a sheer sort of shimmer to your artwork, and I really love this. However, you might not be able to see it too much on the camera, but I'll tilt it up here and hopefully you can see that sparkle. I hope you enjoyed these 3 cards, and I hope you'll join us for the Simon Says Stamp blog hop and the September long celebration. Don't forget to check out the other videos I have posted today. There's a lot to watch. So go ahead, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, you can click on the right. Over on the left, you can go to my blog, see the blog hop, and potentially win yourself a $50 gift certificate. And I've suggested 2 more videos below you might enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and have a great weekend.